Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for today's Griquas versus Sharks Currie Cup 2021 preview. The first weekend of the Currie Cup, this will be the second game, and a very interesting Shark side versus the Griquas side, which also boasts a couple of new faces. So it should be quite interesting. The Griquas, having lost a few players, have brought a couple of players in. I'm very interested to see how they go this weekend. And being at Tafelberg Park in Griquas, then it's anybody's game really. The Griquas at home are a very tough side to beat. It's a horrible place to go play rugby. It's usually very hot. It'll be a bit cooler now, obviously, but much warmer than everywhere else in the country. Very dry. Quite hard underfoot. It's a very tough place to go and play, and the Griquas are very tough to beat in their backyard. So, especially when you look at a couple of the Sharks players being rested, this certainly isn't a sure result for the Sharks. I think they'll have to work really hard to try and get a victory out of this game. So it should be quite an interesting way, and the perfect way to sort of get your Saturday going. Because it's going to go Griquas versus Sharks. It's then going to go Western Province versus the Bulls D team. And then we are going to have the Rainbow Cup final. Bulls versus Benetton on Saturday night. It should be an absolute cracker. I'm hoping that Benetton really do put in a good performance. But, all things considered, the Bulls, in theory, should be the favourites for that game. Before we look at the two teams that are going to be playing in this match, however, please do smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can become a member as well. You can click the join button there. Get a little badge next to your name and contribute towards helping the channel grow. Without any further ado, if we're looking at the two sides, we'll start with the home side, which is the Griquas. So a couple of regular names there. Andrew Bierwinkel doesn't get much more regular. He's been a stalwart there in the number 1 jersey throughout the season, and he is joined by Janko Ace and Andries Schutte. Quite interested to see how Andries Schutte goes. Haven't seen too much of him. Then in the locks, Cameron Lindsay, who's been very, very solid for the Griquas week in, week out, gives you a very similar sort of standard of performance. Everything you want out of a lock. He is joined by Zwanele Zito, also quite a nice player there. Gerrit van der Merwe, I think, is somebody who could equally be running out for anybody else in the country. I think he's a brilliant player. Always very close to action. He's got a weird knack of scoring tries, to be honest. He's always by the try line. He scored a lot of tries for somebody. That's not really his role, but I don't know what it is about him. He's a bit of a try magnet, so they'll be hoping that he can produce similar things. And then Sevabala Goma is next to him, and Ruan Steenkamp will captain the side. No Zach Burger, obviously, the regular captain for the Griquas. His brilliant performance during the Super Rugby Unlocked saw him earn a move to the Bulls, and he is a fat in Italy. And then in terms of the backline, so Stefan Anguel will get an opportunity in lieu of no Zach Burger. George Whitehead will start at fly half, a very good player there. Edwin Cater, Daniel Casenda, the two wings. Edwin Cater, one of the leading try scorers during that Super Rugby Unlocked Currie Cup season. He is lethal. You don't want to give him too much space. In the centres, we've got Andre Swartz and Edoris Andressa and Masekole Banda there at 15. Getting on the ages, Masekole Banda. Very experienced player, very exciting, lots of pace. Not particularly physical, but can seize a gap and can be quite devastating on the counter-attack. For the bench, it hasn't been quite confirmed who the final bench will be, but it will be a selection of 8 players out of Tien van der Merwe, Andrew Koen, Ewald van der Bestezen, Jean-Andre Lombard, Hanru Sergel, Oranje, Theo Boschop, Chris Hollis, Tiller Visser, Ashland Davids, and Enver Brandt. Which the final 8 we'll have to wait until we see. But I think it's a decent Griquas side. I really like watching Gerrit van der Merwe. I think George Whitehead's also a very good player. I think Cameron Lindsay is a very solid, nice big unit, and Edwin Cater, he's a fantastic finisher. So very keen to see if he can get some space out tomorrow. And they are facing a Shark side with a new captain as well. Pepsi Buthelezi, the youngster, gets the captain's armband. He led the Ace under 20s. I think it could be a future block captain, to be honest. Turning into a really, really good player first and foremost, because rugby is always the first sort of foremost. Your form is the most important thing. And, I was worried a little bit whether he had the size and the physicality to be able to make it, but he's put in a lot of weight. He looks really lean and mean, and he's got such a nice skill set. A very, very nice guy, very well spoken, always says the right things, quite a humble character, and I think that he's very confident. He's very, very confident in his ability. He was the head boy at DHS, and he will lead the Sharks this weekend. A couple of players that won't be involved, obviously none of the Springbok players. Which leaves a couple of holes everywhere. And Cohen Bosch has also been given the weekend off. He will be having a rest this weekend. So if we're looking at that lineup, Kwezimana, Fezembata, and Kuto Mkuna will be the front row. Fezembata busy playing his way into Bok contention at the moment with part of the lineman camp, so he'll be trying to make sure that week in, week out, he's continuously trying to sort of say, I'm ready. The locks will be Ruben van Heerden and Hiron Andrews. You can't go really wrong with those two. I thought Hiron Andrews was fantastic in Super Rugby Unlocked, and then we kind of didn't really see him much. Ruben van Heerden was probably one of the best locks in the Rainbow Cup SA, so good to see him getting some game time. JJ van der Mesht and Reniel Hugo on the bench. They're going with a 6-2 split on the bench. And then a loose trio. I think it's a very exciting loose trio. In absence of Siya Kolisi, Henko Venter, and Sika Motanoche, to still be able to have James Venter, Thembelani Boli, and obviously Pepsi Buthelezi is a fantastic demonstration of depth. Thembelani Boli is a physical player. He loves the collisions. He's a really hard-hitting player. James Venter is an out-and-out number 6, very good on the ground. I thought he was going to be a future Lions captain, so I think it's also a very important part of that leadership group. Has had his injury concerns, so we'll be hoping for a nice injury-free campaign. Jaden Hendrickson, someone who I thought was going to be on the block radar, will get an opportunity next to Boeta Chamberlain, who's a much more direct fly half than Curran Bosch. Doesn't quite have the same kicking game, so I'm interested to see how him and Jaden Hendrickson complement each other. Does it mean that Jaden Hendrickson gets asked to do more kicking? Will the Sharks be maybe moving away from such a kicking game? They are the side that kicks the most in the country, or at least they have been the Super Rugby Unlocked, Currie Cup and Rainbow Cup SA. So is this an opportunity for them to maybe sort of stray away from the norm and try and surprise a few people and do something a little bit different? It'll be interesting to see. The two wings will be Anthony Folmick and Werner Kok. Obviously no Mapimpi, no Yao Penkle, and no Makazole Mapimpi. So to have Folmick and Werner Kok there are pretty solid. I'd really like to see Werner Kok back in that 13 jersey. We just saw the one game. I thought he was terrific. We haven't seen him there yet, but I suppose when you've got Marius Lowe and Jeremy Ward, it's difficult to leave those two out. But I really did like Werner Kok in the centre, and I'd love to see him back there. And Moni Liebach will operate at full back, so that'll be a nice attacking option for them. We'll also be able to slot into first receiver. So him and Boeta Chamberlain will probably be quite interchangeable, because I think Moni Liebach is somebody who can come off his line. He can read the game really well from the back, a bit like Damien Billinsford can, and he can be quite devastating. On the bench, Kieran van Vuuren had a very good game when he got the opportunity to start the other day, and he's joined by Mzano Majola and the Lions' Loni Vian Herbst. The 6-2 split sees JJ van der Mesht and Reniel Hugo, and then Mpilo Mngomedi as well. Grant Williams covers a bit of covers scrum half, and then Marnus Potgieter, the new signing, the new acquisition from the Bulls. He is just 21 years of age, a very exciting player. I think it's a very good signing from the Sharks. We'll be interested to see how he goes. Obviously thought he'd get more game time with the Sharks, hence the move, and he'll get an opportunity immediately off the bench this weekend to try and make a statement. So I think given those two sides, I think the Sharks will get the job done, but I think it will be tough. So I'm going to go Sharks by 5. It should be a really good game. I think in many ways this will probably be a better game than the Western Province versus Bulls, just because the quality of players is a lot better. But I'm interested to see how those Bulls players go. A lot of players on 22 players on debut, a lot of them club players. It should be a very interesting game. But I think this will probably be sort of the game of the weekend. Maybe Pumas versus Lions as well could be a very nice game. That'll be tonight. But I think this should be a really nice indication of where the Sharks are in terms of their depth, but also an indication of how they want to play. Griquas as well. We all know what the Griquas are. They're a team that's fearless. They're happy to have a go at sides. They back themselves. They're always trying to get something out of games. And I think that in their backyard, they always back themselves, and they'll always say that come here and try and play against us, but this is where we are the hardest to beat. So hopefully it should make quite an interesting encounter. Smash like on the video. Let me know what your core predictions are down in the comments below. And yeah, we'll be live for this game as well. It's our first game as we sort of prepare, open a few beers, get ourselves nice and settled for the afternoon of rugby ahead. So make sure you come and join us there as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Stephen, and I'll chat to you guys very soon.